Hello there everyone, and welcome back to Napoleon Total War with the Great War mod. We're playing as the Austro-Hungarian Empire in World War One. And before actually we'll go ahead and talk about what the situation looks like, there's been a few comments at least about people noticing that there are comments that are already like 2 days old or even more on videos that just have been released, and there's been quite a few people commenting on that. So the reason for that is there is a paid subscriber system on YouTube right now where you can basically pay a fee to get sort of a channel membership. Channel members then get early access to my videos, maybe 1 or 2 days earlier, or maybe even more than that. So that's why you can see comments that are already like maybe as much as a week old on videos that just seemingly have been released. With that said, let's go ahead and jump back into the campaign. So last time around we moved up to Riga and we actually got the tanks to work. And we had a rather messy battle. We had a two-front battle where I got my cavalry killed, but we did get the use out of the tanks, and they sprayed down the enemy and got like 1,200 kills or something like that. So they killed a lot, like 25% of the enemy army was killed just by the tanks. So that's really good. Since then, I've gone ahead and taken out the mortar crews that was down here on the sort of the back side of our army. There are some units out here, heavy artillery stuff, but I don't want to stay here and try to mop this up. I want to move further, so we've got a group, it looks like a heavy mortar and a barrier infantry. We're going to infiltrate just to see exactly what they have. So 2 barrier units, a sniper and a heavy mortar. Shouldn't be that much of a problem to actually deal with that. So we're going to just march up, out-resolve this battle. And we should... then they know what's up. They retreat. So it's only 500 men. We'll lose 171. And they lost everything. So that's good. It delayed us though. So we are continuing on here. So interestingly enough here, the Soviets have actually spawned a bomber aircraft, which is sitting right over here. So we will definitely want to deal with that. This is a reconnaissance plane. Cannot do anything. Here we've got a fighter plane. It's time to shoot him down. The first air combat is about to commence over Russia. And we're off. Right, so they landed their planes and they decided to do it. And you know, pilots, they sort of have that gentleman style. You don't shoot on a pilot that's jumped out of the aircraft and stuff like that. So in this case, they landed, they went even more gentleman-like. So they landed on ground and then they fought a sword duel, which our guy lost, even though he had a 95% chance of victory. We have more fighter planes though, so we're gonna see about actually dealing damage to this guy. So this time we might actually... Okay, so this time he comes by carriage from St. Petersburg to challenge this guy. So now the sword fight. The guy falls, he stumbles. Ooh, he slashes him across the stomach. Is he dead? Yes, he died. Good thing here, I guess, is the aircraft is kept intact. Bye bye, Russian bomber pilot. Oh, and there it went. It went down into the lake. So, yep, that's what happens. So we've advanced there. Now we need to advance here, which I think this is really the main... Not the main, but like one of the main units that are left. which is the army over here, guarding the bridge. It's going to be possibly quite a difficult battle, just because he's most likely going to intercept us, I think, and he's going to intercept us, and it's going to be a bridge battle. It's got some really heavy artillery, and they are going to get some infantry support from the town as well. A lot of the fixed artillery pieces won't be joining, like this artillery piece and the 2 heavy mortars. But the sailors, the Order of the Red Banner, sniper unit, the machine gun, and the light mortar and the field gun will be able to join in the fight. It's not going too well for the Soviets either, so they've got war awareness because they're losing the war. So that's -7, and then they've got bankruptcy because they're running out of money, and that is partly because I have gotten as many nations as I can to embargo them. So if we take a look at them right now, they're only trading with the British Empire and the French. Obviously I cannot deal anything with them or try to get them to embargo a former ally. Now, I thought I was going to do this, but when I looked at, I actually noticed this, so I think we're going to do this battle first. So this army has moved into Eastern Prussia. It's lost a lot of manpower due to winter attrition. We're going to move in with Viktor Dankel, and okay, we're not even going to reach them. I thought I'd gas all these guys and get rid of them, so but that's not the case, so we're gonna go ahead and attack here. We've got 2 groups of tanks. We got the light machine gun, that's new. Not the heavy howitzers, I think we've used them before. But otherwise it's similar. 1 Jagdkommando unit, SMG, 1 rifle, 2 tanks. It's gonna be a lot about the tanks, I guess. Hopefully they'll... Okay, so this is interesting. Oh, it's an ambush. Why is he in the river? It's actually a really bad attack that they even went ahead with this, because it's a single unit ambushing us, and then the rest of the units are coming in as reinforcement. But the reinforcement, of course, has all fixed artillery, so none of the artillery will join the battle. It's all going to be infantry. So I don't know why they even went with this, but fine. If they want to screw themselves up, be my guest. It's going to be easier for us to actually get to Novgorod and take it over. With that said, let the tanks roll on and crush our enemies' skulls. We are ambushed and caught in column, as we can see here. However, though, it's a pretty stupid battle since I am the only one that has artillery on the field. And the enemy doesn't, I think. I'm not entirely sure what that fire was. But well, I guess it was our guns, but I don't know why they fired all the way up there. My artillery, since it's heavy artillery, it's stationary, so it's kind of stuck here in a bit of a bad position. But the thing is, the reinforcement is coming in over here, which is god awful because, well, my tanks are already on the way to stop them. And got the cavalry units. I can actually quickly move over to this side. All my troops are quickly mobilizing against the enemy. So really it's just god awful plan. Right, the general just died because the tanks are opening fire, and they shot him down because he rode first into battle. The Red Army cavalry not doing too great them as well. Then we got Red Banner troops, the barrier troops, and then we've got the sailors coming in. I'm about to set up the light machine guns over here, which is a group that's carrying Maxim machine guns. It's called light, but it actually carries more machine guns than the normal one. I don't know if they fire less bullets. I doubt it. So now we have, you know, what? That's 14 machine guns trained on the enemy moving forward here. Okay, this one should probably stop because I don't want to shoot down my own cavalry. So my heavier machine gun is moving forward. So you can kind of see the difference in between the German machine gun right there and what normally would be seen used by the what would normally be seen used by the Allies. The sailors over there are walking into the Ukrainian infantry. It's gonna shoot them all down, they've got no chance. And then we can dismount you over there. They are holding up a little bit in the forest, but it's not going like super great for them. I think we'll try to get this one, just charge it up to a better position. Now these guys are marching straight into machine gun fire from this and from the tanks. So it's just an absolute massacre of these troops right here. If they'd actually held back and used all of their heavy artillery in a sensible way, they could have possibly actually inflicted some damage on us. But now, instead, they're just throwing infantry headlong onto us, and it turned out to be an utter disaster for the enemy. And I mean, they have nothing to deal with my tanks either, because they don't have any artillery in place to deal with them. So right now, I wonder if any of these troops are actually going to make it out of here alive, or if everyone are just going to die. Somehow, oh, the enemy is somehow... maybe that's why it's light machine guns, because somehow we've lost 4 out of 6. Just from that little counter fire the enemy put up. Oh, we actually lost a tank here. They were able to put down enough rifle fire on it that it destroyed, or maybe it was stray machine gun fire. I'm not entirely sure. But it could have been a mechanical problem, I guess. In a roleplay way. Obviously, there's no mechanic in the game that allows for... Oh! Another tank just broke. Maybe it's the... I guess they're firing some kind of super Stalinist bullets or something, because both of them actually shot down the tank, 2 tanks. Okay, maybe not like that, because I'm fearing the tank in the back is actually going to shoot the one in the front. But there we go. Their worthless ambush. No surprise that it turned into an utter disaster for them. And that... I mean, not a single one. Actually, some of the sailors that actually initiated the ambush, 10 of them are gonna make it out, but everyone else more or less died. God awful planning there on the side of the enemy. The last guy died over there, so only 10 sailors made it out, more or less. And we can see the fields here. They were all gunned down. Now, we did lose 2 tanks, but none of the tank crew died. And I don't know. We could probably fix them up. We've done it before, so I think we can fix them up again. Then a little bit surprised what actually happened here. If it was the enemy's return fire that actually broke down 4 of the machine guns. I'm not sure. Anyways, let's not linger here in this massacre pit. And go ahead and advance further. Here's the result. The enemy lost almost everyone. They only actually managed to kill a single soldier of mine. I, however, lost 7, so we killed 6 times more of our own men than the enemy did. They only managed to kill a single soldier, and we killed 6 of our own. I also note here that we killed 1918, which is exactly the year that it is right now in game. 175 managed to remain though, so there was a lot more than just those 10 sailors that managed to escape. Light machine guns did most of the kills, and they were the ones that the one soldier that I guess the one that they actually shot. And then if we look at the losses, we see that it seems like the Ukrainians shot each other, because we have 2 losses there. And then mounted infantry shot each other, but there's no surprises, they always shoot each other. It's a little bit interesting. We actually killed 6 times more of our own than what the enemy did, even though of course it was only one guy. Here we've got actually some heavy artillery, so a little bit more of a fair fight. A lot of it is stationary, so they won't be messing about with moving them around too much. So we'll definitely suffer more casualties than just a single soldier. Or 7 soldiers. One of which being caused by the enemy. Anyways, onwards. Let's take the town. In this formation, I have put the tanks to lead the attack. Then we got the Ukrainian infantry. Behind them we've got the elite infantry. Further back we've got our heavy artillery. We'll start to smash up the enemy. On the sides we have the light infantry. Machine gun groups on that side. Probably only going to advance the light machine guns. Up front, placed bombs right here. The troops are hidden. And then on this flank, I have placed the Jagdkommando, the submachine gunners, and the rifle. So the rifle will hold them while the submachine guns will go in from the flank. I noticed that the light mortars were on this side. And when moving the Jagdkommando along the front line, I saw kind of where they have all the other troops, and noticed that their machine gun is over on that side. So that one is the one we need to kind of avoid. With that said, let's go ahead and start. We're going to start by getting these guys to move back. Start advancing the artillery, get the submachine gunners to go in for the attack over here. Gonna get troops up on the ridge, light troops into the forest on the flanks. Take control of that. Elite infantry will actually stay. And then machine guns up towards the hill, and I think somewhere around there. So, engineers can now retreat as far back as they can. Ooh, these guys have suffered heavily. Order of the Red Banner is over there. However, now when the machine guns, the submachine gun group is coming in from the flank, I think we'll see some improvement. That's actually going really bad for us over there. What we'll do is we'll get the submachine gunners right there in the flank. Ooh, this Jagdkommando is about to get absolutely destroyed. I need the submachine gunners to start doing some damage on these guys instead. I don't want to retreat these guys just yet, before we actually start to do some damage over here. I'm gonna order one of the artillery pieces to focus in on the Order of the Red Banner, and now we're gonna pull these guys back before they get absolutely destroyed. So there's only 25 of them left, but I'm gonna retreat them Right now the submachine gunners have been firing up the flank of the sailors, and they've murdered them, and in sort of the process of firing towards those guys, stray bullets have shot down the mortar group. Mortar group is now retreating, and now it's going to be a fight in between submachine gunners and the Order of the Red Banner. I wonder if I can get my grenade toss all the way out there. Order of the Red Banner is not doing too well. It is actually. It's the it's just that there's a single sailor left out there. Okay, so we're gonna get grenades tossed at them. The sailor is still there. Right, let's see how it goes on the front line here. Ooh, my tanks! What has happened to my tanks? My tanks died. My tanks are destroyed. What on earth happened there? There's only 6 people left in that one. There's only 4 in that one, and all the actual tanks are destroyed. Where are my tanks? Where are my tanks? I can't even see the bodies of the tanks. Something happened there. Something that killed off my tanks. What's this? This is just Ukrainian infantry. Did they all pass here? And I can't even see the destroyed bodies on the tanks though. Oh wait, here they are. Ah, I moved them too far forward, and I think the enemy overwhelmed them and destroyed them that way. Oh, I love the fact that you managed to avoid my bombs. All my tanks, they go... I drove them too far, and they got overrun. Right, let's go back to normal speed. Submachine gunners definitely winning this fight. But the Jagdkommando took a heavy hit from that attack. It's gonna be down to our infantry then. So light machine guns. I think they're actually being shot by our own troops. There is an artillery piece and quite a lot of troops coming in on the flank. The guard units will be deployed to that side. Also, I mean, we've dealt with the enemy over there mostly. What we'll do is we'll send 1 cavalry unit over there. 1 over to this side. Let's see, the Jagdkommando. Haven't you won already? What's actually taking so long for you? Move forward. We do have the advantage. Gonna get even closer. I'm gonna tell the artillery to pick some other target. They're not really doing that much damage over here. Right, start firing. Start shooting them down. There, now we start to see some change. Get grenade toss in on them before finishing them off. That's fine. Now shoot them all down. They run right past them to, I guess, go ahead and attack the cavalry. The light machine gun group is doing pretty well. The light troops in the forest here might have some trouble just because of all the enemy troops coming in here. Enemy field gun and then a home guard unit. We'll send in the cavalry to figure out what's going on there. The elite infantry will move forward. These guys will move like so, try and avoid shooting down our own machine gun. You can move in between, fire at will. You will move up to that point. We'll organize the remnants of the Jagd Commando over there, and now the cavalry will move here and then towards the heavy artillery to take them out. The enemy put a home guard there to guard the tanks as well. We definitely need to recover the tanks. We'll charge the home guard holding up in the forest. I don't think they have a chance against 225 cavalry charging straight ahead at their god-awful unit. However, there's a unit of revolutionary sailors behind them. Could pose more of a problem, so we'll retreat. Might not be as easy to charge those guys down. The machine guns and our rifle fire has definitely proved themselves, and we're winning. Let's move forward. Recapture those tanks. Cavalry moving in on the enemy's heavy artillery position. Oh, they point the guns directly at the cavalry. Are they actually gonna fire that way, or what's going on? They're about to fire though, so maybe we'll find out. I think they might be firing at the cavalry. It's just that the gun elevation doesn't go that low. So machine gun group moving forward, ready to take out the home guard and reclaim the tanks for us. The machine guns are doing their job. So the light machine gun, they very quickly lose their machine gun to just getting broken down. Why isn't my heavy artillery firing anymore? Oh, the enemy machine gun. However, it's firing into the back of the hill. Elite infantry will move to focus on dealing with the sailors. And what we'll do is we'll move the cavalry into the flank and then ride them down. What we'll do is we'll use the artillery to silence those machine guns, make sure that they do not destroy us. Cavalry will move up from the back. Jagd Commando will reclaim the tanks. I think I can even get the guys to possibly reman them. Yes, because they're not broken down. It's just that a lot of the crew was killed. Hold fire and then move forward. Okay, so the last... looks like the sailors went away. And what's left is those 10 sailors that survived the last battle. They are the last units firing down upon our mounted infantry. Officer just got taken out by artillery. No, he's actually alive. Oh, he's the only one alive. No, there's one other guy. And there we're victorious. Not any really big, great battles. I thought this was going to be a better battle just because of the I thought it was going to be a river crossing battle where I had to cross under fire of heavy artillery. Clearly the enemy messed that up by ambushing me, and then just completely, that's just screwed up everything for them. However, I kind of screwed up in this battle as well, where I managed to just hand over the tanks to the enemy. Not great strategy. One thing I wonder is if you lose the tanks like this, does all artillery crew work the same? So if they took one of their artillery units, told them to melee charge something, and then move them around, could they then move and pick up these tanks? Because technically all the artillery is basically the same. Could that work? Who knows? But we probably wouldn't see that in campaign battle, but that would be an interesting thing if something like that happened, like in a multiplayer battle, where someone managed to overwhelm a tank in a melee charge and then send their own like artillery crew to man the tanks that were taken over. Because only one of them, only this one is destroyed. The other ones are perfectly fine. And perfectly fine to the point where I can reman them. Just to prove the point, I'm gonna actually get the troops into a tank, or into the tanks. And we're gonna drive them. Tell them to hold fire though, so they don't shoot down. So would you look at that? Oh, okay. So once I reman them... Ah yeah, I know how this works. It's the same when you reman artillery after their troops have been forced away from them. Generally, the artillery kind of bugs, and you have to, you know, put attack orders like this to point where they need to shoot. Okay. Right. Well, we have stayed here way longer than we should. Let's go back to the campaign map. Here we've got the battle statistics. So we lost 658 men, and we actually lost one of the tank groups. I guess we couldn't repair those tanks. The enemy lost 1900 men, only 160 remaining. Very good battle, I think. Let's see. Jaktkommando SMG is the highest killer with 454 kills. Otherwise, it's around 200 for the light machine guns, and then the heavy howitzers, and one Ukrainian infantry, and so on. Tanks did really poorly. But no wonder, I charged them way ahead without infantry support, without thinking really, and we lost them. However, we should replenish them really quickly, because I think, well, there's one depot over there, and then there's actually another one over there. So they've built 2 logistic bases, which give 12% replenishment. So we got 2 of those. So we got full, fast rate of replenishment. And that also means there's no factory in this region. So we can't rebuild the tank. We can, however, get a normal infantry, but I mean, I think we're pretty set to attack. Looks like, ooh. I want to see, can we provoke a counter-revolution and get the whites back in power? Or who will spawn there? Will it be another form of communism? To come in and take over? We'll end turn and we'll see what happens. I get a lot of these airplanes detecting a lot of French troops all the time. City besieged? What? Oh, and we build the staff college in Vienna. I've had some problems with that once I got to the higher learning centers where I cannot recruit any troops anymore. Where we got the staff college and the building before that. I can't remember what building came before that. That's the wrong panel. Doesn't actually show that one. We see artillery, but we don't actually see the military one, right? Because I clicked on the wrong, or no, it's the same for all of them. But the building ahead of this, towards the sort of the college, or the thing that you should really be building in the capital, that seems to just stop us being able to recruit any types of troops in the capital. Also, the capital is kind of unhappy because of the heavy industrialization I've done here. So at this point we have tons of landwehr station here. But we'll make a shit ton of money out of this place. So we've got a wealth in this region of almost 20,000, which is a lot. If we compare to Berlin is 17, what was Paris? Paris 15, London 25 though, jeez. But then London has a lot, it's got what? 1, 2, 3 ports? 5 ports actually. So it's got 5 ports, it's got, you know, lots of abilities for factories. It's got 1, 2, 3, 4 towns. It's got farmland, it's got the cavalry barracks. So it's got a lot to actually produce that wealth. Make a lot of money out of that also. Right. What we're gonna do is we're gonna take a look at what... Okay, so there... Ah, yes! This army, which I didn't know where they went. I guess they just went into the forest and now they come back. This will actually be the proper last fight, I think, at the against the Soviet troops. So we got pretty good general. I got 3 red cavalry units, light mortar, field gun, lots of heavy artillery. That's going to be the dangerous part. And the thing is, a lot of the time I was able to get away from those heavy artillery pieces by the enemy's artillery, by them screwing up the positioning and so on. These artillery pieces, I'm pretty sure is the same ones they used on other places, and they are fixed artillery. So they will definitely murder my troops. So Archduke is going to attack, try to relieve the siege, and that's going to be one hell of a battle. However, we're not going to do that today. Also, I want to avoid getting into this battle beforehand. Is that another reconnaissance plane? Yes, an enemy one. Where do I have my fighter plane? Let's see if we can shoot you down. No, he just got wounded and he flew away. I think we'll not push against the capital, even though I could do that from this position. What we'll do is we'll just keep them bottled up there, and I want to see what happens here. So bankruptcy is rampant now within them. War awareness is really high. Bankruptcy seems to be actually increasing, possibly. So they're definitely gonna see a revolution, counter-revolution going on, because they're failing so miserably at actually accomplishing anything. You know what? I can get one of the... I didn't like the light machine gun because it broke down all the time, even though it's really... I guess it's really good because it's faster to move around. But I'm not super fan of that. So we're gonna possibly move that away and put an SMG infantry, because those guys are a lot more interesting. This is gonna be one battle. I don't think we can fit more battles because we've already had... Ooh, we can get tanks. We can get the infantry and we can get the tanks to come in as support here. So that'll be the last proper battle, and then we'll see if we can provoke into getting a revolution there. this also. So next time around I think we'll... Or maybe we'll avoid these guys actually. Because they are just draining money out of the coffers of our enemy. So we'll just move there so they don't take that. And then the cavalry will be moving to the bridge to hold that. An enemy aircraft. They're actually sending them all over the place. Actually, why am I going to that bridge? They are not going to attack the Latvians. If they are going to attack, they're going to attack my place. So they're going to go to that bridge. Right. Next time around, it's going to be the battle here and then... or the battle here, I mean. And then, more or less, the Russians going to be ready to just... I'm just going to be able to finish them off camera. And then we see about partitioning up the pieces that we got and giving them out to different vassals or whatever. And then we're gonna switch our attention over to the Western Front. We're gonna rekindle the war against the French. I wonder though if I can already kind of start to... if I start to blockade the French... Who are they trading with? Denmark, British Empire, and Russian Empire. Russian Empire is gonna go bye-bye. Denmark is... I thought they were blocked by Sweden. Yeah, the Swedish fleet is here. So then no trade is coming out of Denmark. It's all blocked to everyone. So I'm not entirely sure where France is getting its money from. Because it's only making about 2,000 from trade. And you can see they have loads of these full stacks. They've got tanks and shit. They've got Polish battalion. Flamethrowers. They've got... here, the 2 tanks. Tanks are expensive. Not entirely sure what... Here's another tank. So I'm not entirely sure where the French are getting their money, because they have quite a lot of full stacks. They also have hidden ones, I imagine, within the forests over here. Anyways, with that said, we're gonna end the video right here. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and hopefully I'll see you guys for the next one. Bye!